Let me ask you something that might make you pause a bit. Is your cash working for you today? Or are you just paying inflation? Is your money just sitting there quietly and nothing is happening? It's actually costing you more to keep the cash? Or is it working for you? Sounds simple, but how much cash do you have at hand right now? Not doing much, maybe sitting in your checking account, your savings account, at best in your high yield savings account. Probably more importantly, why do you have that number there? Why is it that amount? Is it just, girl, that's all I got? That's all I got. Don't ask me no more questions. That's it. Fair? Or is it, man, I don't want to be bothered. I won't think about it. It's there. I mean, it's my money. You shouldn't tell me how to spend my money, right? Okay, that's fair too. That's fair too. But a lot of people don't know why they have this amount of cash sitting somewhere that they're not even intentional about. They're not accounting for. They may either think because, it's safe, cash is safe. They've been told cash is safe. Let me just keep it there, whatever. Or some people are like, you know what? No. Cash is safe, yeah, but cash is lazy. The truth of the matter is a lot of people either don't decide and so they keep their money there, or that's all they have, so they keep their money there. They're not actively thinking about if this money is here, is it purposeful? Is it intentional? Am I strategically and deliberately keeping that money there? No, it's just, cash is lazy, so I'm gonna put everything in the markets. Or, you know what? I don't wanna have to deal with it. It's there somewhere in my checking account, in my savings account. Actually, in my high yield savings account, what you gotta say to me? It's still generating interest. Fair. And it totally is. But today, we're gonna talk about how agreed cash can be safety. That is partly true. But we wanna really harness how much cash is too much to keep on hand. I want you to think about cash in a strategic, intentional, deliberate way. Practically for you, what that looks like in your life. But before we get started, if you're new here, where have you been? My name is Desio. I'm a Harvard-trained ex-Wall Street professional helping people like you not keep cash on the side just because that's what's easy to do or just because that's all I got. If it's all you got, fine. But listen to this because maybe this would help you think better about your money. So let's jump into it. I agree. Cash feels safe. Cash can be safe. In fact, that is what cash wants to be, safe. It doesn't wake you up at 2 a.m. in the morning with heart pressing palpitations. I get it. It does not send you notifications about being up or being down. It is what it is. The cash that you have is the cash that you have is the cash that you have. I understand that. It doesn't have to deal with a 20% drop in a bad month or even 50% drop in a bad month. I get that. You have $10,000, it's going to be $10,000 even in 20 years to come. Understood. I know. So can we calm down now? I get it. I understand that. But the problem with cash is that inflation, there's something called inflation. And you know it. It's chipping away at your money. The value of a dollar today is not the same value of a dollar in 2 days or in 5 days. Okay, maybe not such a short time frame, but in a year, in 2 years, that same value is eroding. So what you could get for $1 a year ago, has anybody done their grocery comparison? I saw something on Twitter recently, and the person I think had purchased groceries for about $45 a couple of years ago, maybe sometime during COVID or something like that. And now they're spending multiples, about 4x of the same amount to get the exact same things that they got then. I mean, have you looked at your tissues? Those things are crazy now. It is mind-blowing how just like subtly and gently those numbers are climbing up to buy the same exact thing that you could buy before. Exactly what inflation means. It chips away at the value of your dollar. So you had $10,000 in the savings account a couple of years ago. It is still nominal $10,000. However, does it still buy you the same? Does it still get you the same buying power, the same purchasing power today? Probably not. Cash doesn't compound meaningfully. So yeah, you put it in your checking account and maybe they give you something, literally pennies on the dollar. You put it in your savings account, they give you a little bit more than pennies, okay? Then you put it in your high yield savings account. That at least does something. I think right now it's about 3%. It could fluctuate, it could go up to 4%. At some point, I think we even saw maybe even 5%. APY, so that's annual. It doesn't mean that they're going to give you 5% on your money every month. It's annual. So if it's 5%, so you had $100, you were going to get 5%, which is $5 at the end of the year. That $5 is going to be broken it down into months. So they'll give you $5 over 12 is what they'll pay you in the first month. And then you get all of that compounded. By the end of the year, it should be somewhere around $5. If you total how much they've added to your account using $100 example, it doesn't compound meaningfully. And at some point, it gets super comfortable. You know, when you get in bed, you get cozy, and your blanket is over. That's what cash wants to do. It wants to be chill. It wants to be comfortable. It just wants to be quiet. It's not going to go anywhere, but it just wants to, just be cozy. I mean, I like to be cozy too, but sometimes you just gotta hustle. And sometimes your money shouldn't always be cozy. Yeah, maybe some part of your money can be cozy because you want it to be at your reach, at your beck and call, but maybe not all your money. And that's all we're saying today. Not all your money. At what point are you protected? Or at what point are you just popped? This is where we're all to go crazy. Some people are going to say there's a school of thought that's cash is trash. No, don't do any cash. It doesn't make sense. We want to make sure we put all our money in the market, the fancy guys. I get it. I understand that. I understand that. And there's also this school of thought. Market is risky. Man, I can't stand the volatility. Did you see what happened to the S&P 500? It dropped X number of points. Okay, that's fair too. I understand that we all have different risk appetites. I get it. We all can't be the same. But here's exactly the tension that we have to separate and figure out what works for you as an individual, you as a family. So one issue is the amount of cash that you have saved up. Okay, so how much do you have? Do you just have like $200,000 sitting somewhere in your checking account because you just like to look at it every day? Okay. Maybe a little stupid, but okay. You don't know what to do with it. You don't want to mess with it. Okay. I can understand that. But if your cash is not clearly defined, what is the purpose of every single dollar? It then stops being strategic. You're not optimizing the best that you can for your portfolio. Does that make sense? And then you get this other set of people who say, it's my emergency funds. They just want to throw everything that they have in their emergency fund because maybe they've gone through a setback before and now they're optimizing absolutely to make sure that cash on hand because they've been beaten once and once beaten 10 times shy. I get that. But have you ever sat to think about emergency fund, actual emergency funds, real emergency funds, or opportunity funds? So emergency cash, opportunity cash, because we have to strategically allocate our dollars, our currencies, our earnings to work for us. You want some at your reach, but some may be strategically placed because if something happens, I want to be able to take advantage of whatever the situation is. A property deal comes up, I want to play in that. An SPV for, a new hot startup is coming around. I want to be able to chip in a little bit just so I have an exposure to that. Oh, the market drops and created a buying opportunity for whatever reason. I want to be able to participate. That's your opportunity cash. Your opportunity cash is about flexibility. You want to get exposure, play in the game. You want to take advantage of any good thing that life throws at you, good opportunities, that exactly what it is, opportunity cash, opportunity fund. Your emergency funds though, that's not to maximize returns. That is to buy time. That is to make sure that if, God forbid, my back gets against the wall, I have something to tend to. I have something to point to. I have something to reach for. My rent is covered. My mortgage is covered. My utilities are covered. Feeding is covered. I'm not going to have my back to the ground. I'm not going to have my back to... I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be able to bounce back. I'm going to be able to stand on my feet for a few months while I figure things out. It buys you time. And time, that emotional stability, that time stability, it saves you from a lot of bad decisions. We cannot undervalue that. That does what it does, and we need to account for that as well. Both of these are essential, but they're not interchangeable. Your opportunity cash cannot be your emergency cash. Your opportunity funds doesn't go hand in hand with your emergency funds. You want to make sure that you understand that they're sized differently. We have talked about how to size your emergency fund, and the opportunity fund maybe could be just something a bit, do you think it's handy? It doesn't, you're not losing as much if you're not in the market, but you also kind of stay prepared to take advantage of situations when they present themselves. They're sized differently, they're thought about differently, and they're utilized differently. So how much should you have in cash? Decide, okay. I get everything you're saying. How much should I have in cash? Great question. That is very dependent on you, your lifestyle, how much your fixed costs are. Do you have any debt obligations? How many things are you paying for and how much do they come up to monthly? Do you have income stability? Is your job stable? I.e., if there were to be layoffs, are you one of the people that, get cut first? Or, your team kind of likes you, your job kind of likes you, you think it's sort of protected a bit, you've done enough work to earn that level of shield? Fantastic. How many months do you want to have covered if anything were to happen? Forget it's not even a layoff. You had a medical emergency or you just couldn't work. And now your medical expenses are a little bit, crazy. You can't really go to work. You're on medical leave and it's unpaid. What then do I do? How many months do I want covered? Is that 3 months? Is that 6 months, 9 months, 12 months? It just depends on the kind of job that you have, the kind of income and inflow that you have. And lastly, what opportunities do you want to be able to seize? I mean, do you want to buy a house cash down, i.e. you're keeping $200,000 in cash? Or is it just, I want to be able to play if it came up? And so that for me looks like $10,000. That looks like $50K. That looks like $25K. It just depends on you and the opportunity that you believe that you want to participate in, if that makes sense. Now, the rule of thumb here is that if an additional dollar that you're adding to that cash is not creating some level of security or freedom or optionality for you, it doesn't fit in that cash bucket. It's $1 too much. You want to ask yourself, does each dollar that I have a clear assigned job? And if the answer to that is no, then it's just packed. Then it's just a drag. It's just another dollar that doesn't add additional incremental benefit for you. And you should think about resizing that portfolio. Later on in this video series, we're gonna actually calculate exactly what that looks like for individuals. And we're gonna have different categories. We're gonna use actual numbers so you see where you fall in that mental framework. So if you would like, and I would invite you to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss that video, and also, of course, join the family. Cash in itself isn't lazy. Undefined cash is. Let's get the difference. Cash in itself, defined strategic cash, that's not lazy. Undefined, indecisive, it's just there. I mean, I just have the money, it's my money, and it's just sitting there. That is lazy. You're avoiding decisions. It's costing you to keep that number in cash. But if it's predefined, it's pre-identified, it has a clear goal, there's a reason why it's there, okay, that's not lazy. So before you add another dollar to your savings account or withdraw money from your investment just so you have it in cash or in a savings account somewhere, you want to make sure you ask yourself, is it actively protecting me? Is this money that I'm withdrawing protecting me from a self-sabotage situation or a self-destruct situation, or even not a self-destruct or a destructive situation? Do I get security from this cash that I'm moving into a savings account? If the answer there is no, then you're just not even optimizing. You're just paying for comfort and maybe a little bit too much for that level of comfort. In the next video in this series, we're going to talk about the other side. What happens when I'm fully invested? Now, I don't even want any cash on the side. I'm fully invested. All my money is optimized. I'm getting all my dollars are soldiers for me and they're working for me. Great. I like that. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about the pros and cons of that. There are pros and cons, and we'll dissect all of that in the next video, because a lot of people don't actually talk about the risk that is involved when every single penny that you have is in the market, and whether or not the market will cooperate with you when you want to take your money out. There's a risk involved in that as well. I'm curious, how do you manage your money right now? Is it intentional? Is it where it is? Is it positioned properly for the optimal things in your life? Or it's just a happenstance? You just kind of put this money there because you just got this bonus, you haven't really thought about it, and it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months and it's just sitting there? I'm really curious. Comment down below. And of course, if you love content like this, I would invite you to join the family. Brag about it. Subscribe, join us, because we would love to have you. I'll see you in the next one.